Alright guys, welcome to PlayStation News, Rumours and Leaks. Thank you for taking the time out to watch the video. The timestamps are available in the description if you wanted to jump straight ahead to the bits that you're interested in, along with the links to the sites where the articles have come from. So we are starting off with a PlayStation exclusive, potentially making its way over to Xbox. According to Nick Baker on the latest episode of Xbox Era podcast, Sony is in early discussions with Microsoft about bringing the highly popular Helldivers 2 over to the Xbox platform. So far, nothing official has been confirmed, but with Microsoft having already committed to bringing 4 of the Xbox games over to the PlayStation console, it wouldn't be too surprising to see a major PS5 and PC title jump over to the Xbox Series X and S. Now, Nick Baker, he goes on to say, we know that PlayStation has a new CEO at the moment, albeit an interim CEO. I think the new CEO might be more open to certain things. What I've heard is that there may be some very early preliminary discussions about the possibility of Helldivers 2 coming over to the Xbox platform. Last week, Helldivers 2 developer Arrowhead Game Studios revealed that it needs to juggle fixing the game with providing new experiences in order to stay relevant. Helldivers 2 launched with a handful of bugs, but Arrowhead has been quick to fix out these issues with a whole host of post-launch updates pretty much on a regular basis. In fact, pretty much on a weekly basis. Okay, so let's put this into context. Helldivers 2 is an online multiplayer live service offering from PlayStation. It has every chance of going to all platforms. I mean, Xbox and Nintendo. It's already on PC, right? It launched on PC simultaneously as it did on PlayStation. Now, the plan from Sony was when we get a live service multiplayer game, let's get it onto every platform. Obviously, by that they mean get it onto PC. Now, there will always be on PC and PlayStation, but the fact that Sony are open to putting it onto other platforms like Xbox, is that a smart move? I think it is. Live service games by their very nature need a large number of online players constantly playing the game. They also need new updates, fresh maps, fresh challenges, new challenges, and so on, constantly, all the time, right? If the game doesn't have a large online presence with players, then the game's dead. They'll just go off and play another game and Helldivers will be finished. So it's in Sony's interest to keep the player base high and to keep them engaged. That's the reason why they're currently only exploring the possibility of this game going over to Xbox. I don't think it will ever happen to a new single player AAA game from a Sony first party studio. I mean, the MLB, the show, that's a completely different scenario. I think they had a lot of pressure by the MLB to actually get it out onto multiple platforms. But you take a game from, say, Santa Monica Studio or Naughty Dog, you're never going to see that AAA single player game go over to Xbox. But then again, wonders never cease. Okay, moving right along, Sony Interactive Entertainment has filed a new patent or technology that is able to play portions of the game for you on your behalf, something which MMORPGs have already utilized to ease the frustration of grinding in levels. The patent is titled Method and System for Autoplaying Portions of a Video Game and is described as follows. The autoplay mode uses data from the user play model to automatically play the AGC for user using a gameplay style that simulates a gameplay style of the user. When the gameplay of the AGC in autoplay mode is complete, a resume notification is presented to the display screen of the user device used by the user during the gameplay. The patent adds that the autoplay feature would utilize AI and trained models to make decisions on how to proceed in the absence of the user. And when it's done grinding, the player can take control of the game or let the AI continue. By using autoplay mode, users can avoid the need to play parts of a game that they do not like playing and reduce the amount of time it takes to complete the game because the AI player can play the grinding portion of the game at a faster speed. As always, the patent always depends on Sony actually going ahead and delivering. At the moment, patent is filed, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Sony will integrate this into any hardware. But it's definitely possible that we may see this implemented into multiplayer games in the future. Now look, I can see where and why this would be used and how it can benefit those players that want to beat the grind. For me, no way, man. Beating the grind is part of the game. It's part of the experience. If you grind, you are rewarded for the effort you put in. That's the whole point of grinding in a game, and that leveling up your own skill, especially the Souls games, right, where the timing is everything, and those other games where you've got to level up your own knowledge and experience in the game to move on and proceed. This isn't for me. You know, you play a game and you enjoy it, you learn the game mechanics and you try to beat it. I just don't like the idea that if you have to repeat something many times, as frustrating as it is, I don't think you should be able to just AI it. You know what I mean? I don't think you should be able to just hit a program and it does it for you. That's not, it's almost cheating, isn't it? Let's be honest. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you think it's a useful feature? If it ever gets greenlit, is it something you would want to utilize? guys. Anyway, let's move on. The Embracer Group has announced that it will be splitting into 3 separate companies. The companies are going to be called Asmodee, Coffee Stain and Friends, Middle-earth Enterprises and Friends. What weird and ridiculous names, I think. Not sure why they've gone for that. All 3 companies will be listed separately on the Nasdaq Stockholm, and Embracer Group has penciled in a new financing agreement through Asmodee worth 900 million euros. The proceeds from this will repay existing debt and reduce leverage in the remaining Embracer Group. Asmodee will operate as a publisher and distributor of board games, trading cards, and digital board games, and is made up of 23 owned studios. Coffee Stain and Friends will turn its attention to PC, console, and mobile titles, including community-driven free-to-play games, live OPS games, and indie AA games. And Middle-earth Enterprises and Friends, which will function as a creative powerhouse in AAA game development and publishing for PC and console, and this so far is in possession of the IP rights to Lord of the Rings, Tomb Raider, Dead Island, Metro, and Kingdom Come Deliverance. Speaking on the plans, the CEO of the Embracer Group, Lars Wingfors, commented, "There is not one way to do business, but some business models are more similar than others. The same goes for business people. The ambitions may be similar, but the approach differs. The similarities between the businesses that will make up Asmodee, Coffee Stain and Friends, Middle-earth Enterprises and Friends are striking. But so are the differences when it comes to the go-to-market strategies and business profiles. All the companies have bright futures ahead of them by perfecting what is working for them and by continuing to cooperate when it makes sense. There is significant untapped potential within the group, which I'm confident the new structure will unleash. This will empower each individual and each team to grow and excel further in their careers, as well as provide them with their own leadership and strategic direction. It's all happening at the Embracer Group since they've practically sold Gearbox to Take-Two, along with a failed Saudi investment bid last year, closed a number of studios and laid off hundreds of developers. Now they've restructured and renamed their business. Interesting times certainly ahead for the group. I'm interested to see what their AAA studio can offer, or their AAA studios can offer, the Middle-earth and Friends. That's the space I will be keeping an eye on going forward. Let's move on. Developer ShiftUp has confirmed that PS5 exclusive Stellar Blade will not be censored in any region, including Japan, which is great news. Japan was specifically mentioned because the country's rating board, CERO, or Chiro I think it's pronounced, is known for its strictness. Last year, Chiro banned Dead Space Remake because of its gore. Concerns about Stellar Blade's potential censorship don't only stem from its violence and gore. The game has earned criticism for its sexualized characters despite its protagonist being based on an actual real-life model. Some fans have expressed concerns that Stellar Blade may be censored in the West, but ShiftUp have come out and have confirmed that this will not be the case. And meanwhile, Sony is going all out when it comes to Stellar Blade's marketing. The company teamed up with Korean singer BB to release an official song for the game. And the game Stellar Blade will finally be exclusively released on the PS5 this Friday, April the 26th, and I can't wait. It looks fantastic. Good news about the game not being censored. Whether it's music, TV, movies, or games, they should be as the creators intended them to be and not be censored. We are not children. Well, we shouldn't be children buying these games, but we are not children and we do not live in an authoritarian world. Well, some people may, but we don't here in the UK. If you have a problem with certain things, whether it's lyrics or swearing in songs or graphical violence, gruesome scenes, nudity, or anything else, you do not have to buy it. You have the choice to just move on. Let everybody else enjoy it. Okay? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments about today's topics. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next PlayStation news, rumours, and leaks video.